Let's take a look at the Maxine high waist panty. All the panty patterns out there, they have 2 or 3 pieces, meaning there's a front and the back, and however the crotch is put together, that's your third piece, okay? But they all have the same construction method. So let's take a look at it. Here's the front, here's the back, and here's your waistband elastic. For this one, I'm selecting the fold over elastic. Okay, so it's going to go around the waist. And here's the panty leg elastic. All right. It's sold, and the name of it is panty elastic. Fold over elastic is fold over elastic. You can use it for whatever. And this is the panty elastic, goes around the legs. Okay, and then here is a 2-piece crotch and lining. So we're going to put this together so you have fabric on the outside and the 100% cotton goes on the inside. Here's a tip. Go to your store, go to Amazon, and order a pack of Hanes men's t-shirts. Or men's, kids, whatever. Just regular white t-shirts. White or black, just depending on how often you make a panty garment for whatever color you need. But get a package of Hanes white t-shirts, and there is your cotton for the panty liner. And those t-shirts will last forever. Okay, so there's that tip. To get started and put the crotch on, we're going to put the 2 pieces together and then put elastic together. All right, so here's the outside of the crotch. Here's the back, and here's the front. All right. Right sides together. Just always think right sides together when you're putting these pieces together. Right sides together. The crotch. Okay. I'll put a 3rd clip. And then we want the cotton to be like this. So right sides together here. So you're sandwiching the back edge of the panty. So you're sandwiching with the main fabric of the crotch liner and the cotton. Straight stitch, it's not an area of stretch. The waist and the legs are an area of stretch. So use a straight stitch here. And when you're putting the elastics on, use a zigzag. And there you go. All right, you're going to do a straight stitch, and that's what you have for your first stitch. You got this stitch done. And what I like to do, because it is an undergarment, I like to trim down the seam. And if you have a 3/8 inch seam allowance on this garment, you can cut it down pretty far. Okay. Now your second stitch is going to be the burrito method. Okay. So here's your front. All right, and you're going to do the same thing. The outside. Here's the right sides together. Okay, now we want this, okay, over here, right? Gonna roll it up, just put everything in the middle and put the fabric where you want it. Okay, let's do it again so you can see. Okay. All right, so this is right sides together on the front. All right, and we want this edge right here. Okay, So let's roll everything up so you can get this edge here on this side. A burrito is very easy with panty fabric because it's very lightweight and stretchy, unlike a men's shirt when we do a yoke. But that's also easy because you can just roll it up really easily. Okay, and before you stitch it, this is your first time and you're not familiar with doing it, take it apart while it's pinned or clipped to make sure that's what you want. See? No seams, okay? And then just turn it back out so you can just stitch it. But always check it because it's not fun taking out tiny stitches out of knit fabric once it's stitched. There you go. Okay, let's put the side seams together. And because this fabric is so incredibly soft, this happens to be a bamboo fabric. We have a bralette to match it. All right, so let's do French seams on the side, okay? So stitch the wrong sides together first, 1/4 inch, and then stitch, then we're gonna flip them out and stitch the wrong sides together. And then you'll have an enclosed seam on both sides. So here's one side, and this is what it looks like. You stitched it twice, and it's an enclosed seam. So just like a French seam that you would do on a shirt. And so here's my first stitch. I'll show you how I prefer to do it. I cut down the seam. I only did 1/4 inch, but I'm still going to cut it down as low as I can get it because you don't want a whole lot. This is a panty, you know, this is an undergarment, so you don't want a big bulky seam in there, especially if you're stitching it twice. Then turn it over and then fold it really tight to make sure your stitch is right there at that seam. And I use a zipper foot because you can get really tight right there and stitch it down. And this is what it'll look like. All right, let's roll. We're elastic time now. All right, I put one elastic leg on, and this is what it looks like. So we're going to stitch it on the right side first and then turn it over. And I left the contrast thread on so you can see that. And I did a regular zigzag stitch. So you've got really good stretch. And when I'm stitching it, I don't pull it as much. I just hold it taut because panty elastic is real stretchy. Okay, so let's take a look here. And you don't want to exhaust all of the stretch. So you're going to lay it down. And if you've got the scalloped edge and you got a solid edge, let's do this. Lay it down. Get some handling room. Don't start on the edge. This will certainly go down in your machine. Okay. Lay it down on the right-hand side, the right side of your fabric, of the panty leg, and start about there and stitch on this side. Stitch on the right-hand side, catching right there. So when you do turn it, you've got some scallop edging to your to the leg. And what I also do, I start on the crotch, on one of the crotch seams, just so we can have smoothness going all the way around. Another tip is, if this is a great time to use a walking foot, or if you have a Viking sewing machine, it has an internal, or a FAF, they have an internal differential feed, IDF, or just, you know, basically it's an internal walking foot. So I hold the elastic kind of taut, and just practice, because you want to get it right on the edge. red back here. Okay. It's practice, so you want to get it right on the edge so you'll be able to turn it. Keep it straight down on the edge and stitch right on the edge. And then the next step is to flip it over and then do a top stitch right on the outside with the panty elastic scallops showing. Okay, just like that. The same zigzag. Now we got the legs on, and let's do the waist. Fold over elastic. I'm going to start on one seam because you're going to do some overlapping when you come back around, and fold it over. If you have whatever process you use because you know how to do fold over elastic, it's fine. It is fine. The one thing I use is my 1/4 inch foot, if I can find it. Okay, when that happens. There we go. Here's my 1/4 inch foot. I like using it because it's got the little bumper on the side, if you can see that. It's got a little bumper on the side, so I can, you know, the needle goes right in the edge of the foot because this 1/4 inch elastic, fold over elastic is about 3/8 inch wide. So if it sits right there when it's folded, if it sits right there on the little bumper on the foot, your needle is right there on the edge. See? So if you don't have one of these feet, most quilters do have it, okay? Get you one. They're great for making lingerie because everything is either 3/8 or 1/4 inch wide seam allowances. Okay, let's get started. All right, I folded over with some handling room because you don't want this elastic to get stuck in your feet, dog. Okay. And once you get it under here, it's no big deal. If you need to use tweezers, one of my favorite tools. Lower your needle first and lower your foot. Okay. And then just begin to sew. If you've got this foot where the little bumper is, because it's really easy. And on the fold over elastic, I also pull it kind of taut. I don't pull it for stretch. And this is the really cool thing. It's a straight stitch. It's a straight stitch, and fold over elastic loves it. Then when you meet your other end and you want to overlap, and sometimes I just trim it down so it's not so bulky. Overlap here. And then what you want to do is turn it with your foot raised and do a straight stitch and do a backward stitch here. Because, I'll show you, you're going to be able to cut the elastic off because you've got the straight stitch going up and down. You can cut the elastic off like so. And then you've got a clean edge. Like that. I'll clean it up a little bit more. But you've got your waistband on. And you're done.